Okay, let's see if we can get Matt Slayer. I believe there is Matt. How are you, sir? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do you care? The old, what was that? Plasmatics was, I think, that song. I think they did that song. I can hear you just fine. Where are you? Are you in studio, or are you somewhere on the road doing porn-related things, or what are you doing?
I am in studio.
Oh, okay. I was like, you sound awful good to me. Calling me from a cell phone. With Skype capabilities.
Yeah, no, I set up the board. I'm in studio.
That's fantastic.
Razzle dazzle.
You got the razzle dazzle going. So, explain to me what you've been doing these days, because I know you've got the podcast still and everything. Is that it?
Well, it's not quite it. I'm still occasionally doing some porn stuff, but these days I've moved more into mainstream stuff. I'm actually producing other people's podcasts and actually helping people form YouTube channels.
Wow! Holy crap! So, you're in the tech side of things now.
A little bit.
Wow! That's pretty awesome.
That's all these things are so low budget, I'm doing everything.
So, what are some of these podcasts and YouTube people that you're producing? I would love to go check these people out if...
Well, most of it is in progress, or some of them are like, we've filmed a bunch of them, and then they realize that, oh, this is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. But what's coming real soon is a show called Dr. Rob Pain Detective, where a chiropractor sits down and diagnoses the causes of pain and how to fix them.
Okay. So he's realized it's a little bit harder than it looks to just...
Oh no, that one's still coming. But since that's full video, we're getting a bunch of them in the can before we start releasing.
Ah, look at that. Look at that. That's the old pro Matt Slayer that I know. You gotta get them all, get a whole bunch in the can, and then we'll release them. Disney Plus, I think, stole your gimmick. They're doing that with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I see that. I actually watched the first 2 episodes of that last night.
Oh, okay. What did you think of that?
I felt like I was watching Jon Favreau's video game.
Oh, okay. I have heard some people compare that to a cartoon or a video game.
Well, think about it. Like, spoilers for your audience that hasn't watched it yet.
Yes.
Throw that out there.
Yes.
I get the hate mail. In the first episode, when they're on the ice, all of a sudden, the monster takes out their ride and then grabs their ship as they're trying to take off. And it's like, I could just see, like, press the A button quickly to get the monster off.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll tell you, I hate the fact that this show, I think, is going to be a lot better than the next Star Wars movie.
Oh, it's already better than the last few. So.
I think the next Star Wars movie is going to tank.
Well, it won't tank.
It won't tank.
Everyone will hate it.
Yeah, it won't tank because there's still Star Wars marks. They're still out there. They're going to go see Star Wars regardless. It's kind of like professional wrestling marks. They might bitch about pro wrestling, but they're still going to watch all the pro wrestling that's available on TV to them.
Yeah. After Last Jedi, I'm out.
Oh yeah, I didn't even watch that movie. After I heard the thing about what they did to Luke Skywalker, I'm like, done. And
I saw it before spoilers, so I'm like, oh man, I paid money for this.
Well, I knew there was some problems when the movie that the first one, I don't even remember what the hell it was called, came out. What was the third Star Wars or the first of the new Star Wars movies? What was that called? Okay, that's it. Force Awakens. When that came out, I went to the movie with we did like a double date thing. Me and my lifting partner took our girlfriends and wives, and we went to this thing. And he's the biggest Star Wars guy ever. He goes to the Comic-Cons. He's seen all the shows. He fell asleep halfway through the first part of the movie. So I'm like, well, if Rob's asleep, I'm out.
Of course he was asleep. He's seen A New Hope before.
You know, and I thought about that halfway through the movie. I'm like, why are they rebooting the first Star Wars movie?
I kind of like
For the second time. I mean,
well, yeah, and that's something else I want to bring up here. We've got Matt Slayer with us today on the old Skype audio. He joins us today here on our program, and my co-host Jeffrey just brought something up, which I was going to go to next. He's like those people that see into the crystal ball, whatever that is. But he said he liked Rogue One. What did you think of Rogue One? Was that a
Rogue One is the only good offering that they have put out in recent memory.
There you go.
I hear you. The only thing I didn't like is when it was almost like they were trying to do the internet thing where they were trying to take the plug out there, and I'm like, oh my god, and the whole portal in the space.
Oh, the whole portal thing in Rogue One was.
That was cheesy, but everything else I kind of liked.
Yes. So
I love the fact that they closed plot holes from A New Hope. I love the fact that it didn't have a happy ending.
Right.
It didn't need.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then basically, I consider it 3.5. It goes right up to what 4?
It goes right up to the when Darth Vader walks through the shenanigans. And the one thing I thought was funny was I kept seeing people online talking about the fact that, well, it's too bad all those characters died because we could have another movie. And it's like, that's not the point.
No. They shouldn't have another Han Solo movie either. I'm pissed off that they want to do some kind of sequel to that. I'm like, no, you made your stupid solo movie.
Oh, they want to do a solo movie, but
solo movie.
they want to do another solo movie.
Screw that.
No!
And a Chewbacca movie.
A Chewbacca movie.
Slick
And
and
all that.
gangbang movie. I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing like a lead that your audience can't understand. Awesome. That's great storytelling.
That would be fantastic. A Chewbacca movie. No one can. It's subtitles the whole way through.
Which is something they have never done in another Star Wars movie, so that breaks canon too.
That's fantastic. It is Matt Slayer. He's with us today here in our broadcast, and so tell me a little bit about what you've been up to as far as your programming. You know, you told us how you're kind of like this mentor now to the stars, getting people all ready to go with YouTube channels and podcasts. But what are you doing with your bang up of a program?
Well, hey, we're just pumping out new and now we drinks every week. I'm still mixing it up between the porn folk, the comedians, and the musicians.
That's good.
Getting drunk, getting silly, par for the course for the show. Nothing really, it's always exciting, but it's not.
So if you were to have Joanna Angel's significant other small hands on, would he be considered? Would he be a musician or a porn star or both?
These days, I would have to call him a porn star. He has a lot more awards for porn than he ever did for music.
Okay.
I'm just saying, in the two fields, one of them has really acknowledged his talents.
Yes. Well, you know what's funny is the last time we had him on here on Skype, he was. I had a couple rappers here in studio that are like promoters here locally, and they're like big fans of him and Joanna Angel. And they were talking about the fact that, well, they'd bring him out for a concert, and then they do like a meet and greet somewhere with him and Joanna Angel. And I'm like, okay, if there's people that know him from porn, do they necessarily know his music?
Honestly, I don't feel a lot of people do know his music, unfortunately. And the funny thing is, he does all the soundtracks for Burning Angel also.
Oh, yeah. He's, as far as music goes, he's fantastic. And
yeah,
it's,
I mean, he was a musician first. Joanna just kind of turned him out.
You turned me out.
well, that too. So, I haven't got a chance to talk to you about this since and you didn't. I don't think you went to the awards in January. When I made my grand return to Las Vegas after being a bad boy and disciplined for a couple of years and not being allowed to attend the festivities. I made my grand return in January. What do you make of this Netflix of porn thing that's going on with Burning Angel being bought out and everything?
I'm happy for Joanna. I'm happy for Small Hands. They've been trying to move the business for a while, and it allows Joanna to work for other companies now. It's not just Joanna working for Burning Angel.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, I'm happy for them. For the overall industry, I think it's not a great thing. And having studios control distribution, we've already seen with Brazzers MindGeek that it hurts the overall product.
Yes. That I will agree with you on. Because if and this has always been, and I know we have this conversation every once in a while when we have you on, and it always amazes me that there is no Vince McMahon or Dana White of porn. And now it's slowly getting to the point where, well, there might be a Vince McMahon or a Dana White of porn.
I don't know. I feel like the people that are doing this stuff want to stay behind the scenes and they don't want to be out in front like a Mr. McMahon.
Yes.
I mean, I think they end up being much more like the Fertittas, where it's like, Dana White, he makes noise. Fertittas really call the shots.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dana might be out there running his mouth and stuff, but Lorenzo and Frank really, really did give the orders. But we have got Matt Slayer with us today. He joins us live here on Skype audio from his studio to discuss all sorts of things. We've talked about porn, we've talked about music, we've talked about Star Wars. I'm amazed we got into the Star Wars banter. That I always think it's great when we have the people from the quote unquote the porn industry on, and we don't really ever talk about porn. We always talk about other stuff.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, how much can I really go into, like, yeah, that person fucks. Hey, they're at that angle. Cool.
Yes.
It's one of those things where porn is meant to generally be consumed with you and maybe one other person.
Well, that too.
We're all going to consume Star Wars.
Well, you are right. We are all going to watch Star Wars. Speaking of Star Wars and Star Trek and all these sci-fi things, what do you think of this Picard show they're going to have out on CBS here pretty soon?
I'm skeptical.
You don't think that's going to do well?
Well, I'm first and foremost skeptical of any just straight network offering at this point.
Yes.
They just can't compete with the budgets of the streaming services. They can't hold our attention as well because they got to throw commercials in there.
Yes.
They got to stick to the format. And on top of it, who was demanding Picard come back 20-something years later?
Well, that too.
Picard finish.
It just feels
It's
like
a Picard finish.
I'm sure there is, but it feels like some executive at CBS is like, you know what? Everyone loved The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Everyone loved Patrick Stewart.
Let's give him Picard again.
Give him Picard.
That's right.
Yo, heaven forbid that Next Generation was an ensemble cast, and Picard never went on the away team. He wasn't fucking Kirk.
Well,
Picard
that
was
too.
great. But
That
Riker
too.
and a lot of the other cast did the heavy lifting when it came to action. Are you just going to have Picard chilling behind a desk drinking Earl Grey tea the whole episode?
I'd watch that.
Yeah, you're right. It's and then they've got like sprinkles of other Star Trek people in there. There's Data, and there's who was the blonde that was on that one Star Trek? She's in this.
Tasha Yar is dead. You can't bring back Tasha Yar.
That's awesome. And it's like, what is going on here? I don't know. Maybe they thought, well, people like Star Trek. We'll just give them some Star Trek.
Well, it's just the businesses being like, hey, you know what isn't risky IP? Stuff people already like. Let's give them things they already like. I mean, at the end of the day, that's how they're selling us Disney Plus. There's only one new show on the whole goddamn channel. Everything else is all nostalgia.
Well, that too.
I'm guilty of this too. While I was waiting for you, I was watching 90s Spider-Man on Disney Plus.
That's awesome. Well, see, I've had a lot of people say that they like the Disney Plus because of the X-Men that are going to be on there, and that's like one of my buddies in Wichita, Dave the Caveman Rickles, the Bellator fighter. He says that the Mandalorian and the X-Men animated series is enough for him to spend the money on Disney Plus.
I originally was going to do it, and then they're like, hey, for $12.99, you get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, and if you already have Hulu and ESPN Plus, we discount those from the package, and I already have those two, so I might as well spend another $3 and get Disney Plus.
You know?
It's easy math.
It's easy math. That's fantastic. Well, so have you figured out if you're going to be shooting and producing things in January, or are you going to maybe be able to make it to Vegas for at least one day?
I'm still up in the air about it. Part of me, it depends on how much production I got going here in LA.
Yeah.
2, I haven't taken a vacation this year, and AVN, as much as it's a ton of fucking fun and I get weird, isn't really a vacation.
Well, that too. I always refer to it as, I always, how I sell it to Brittany every year is, well, it's kind of like a vacation. We'll go to Vegas. And she's like, well, yeah, but we're there and we're working the entire time. Because, we're interviewing and doing all the stuff we're doing at the convention. And then when the convention's over with for the day, I still have interviews set up. We're going to go to Floyd Mayweather's gym this year. I've got all sorts of things planned. We're going to Fremont Street and hanging out with Paul Vato at Vato Cigars. It's like, yeah, but it's not a vacation.
No, it definitely is.
Might be a vacation for me, but not a vacation.
It's a working trip where I'm working with a hangover, or drunk.
Well, that too, and I've been. There's been a couple ABNs I've been to where you have attended where that's pretty much what you've been doing is you've been drunk the entire time. So
I'll see where I'm at close to the event. Actually, next week in like 6 days we have the ABN nomination party here in LA, so I'm going to that, and we'll see how many people convince me that I should go this year.
Okay, well then. Then I'll, and then if they convince you, you let me know, or I'll just poke and prod you until you tell me, I'm not going.
Really, the trick is I'm going to just try to find some attractive young thing to put me up in her room, so I don't have to pay for a hotel this year.
There you go. That would be the way to do it. Holy crap! You figured it out.
I mean, I have a theory and a plan. Doesn't mean I'm going to be able to execute.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to try.
Yeah, you're going to try. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you making time for us. And
it's always my pleasure. It's been too long.
Yes. Well, we've been both extremely busy. I've been doing
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I've been doing all this fighting crap, and you've been doing all this podcasting stuff. So it's...
Well, and on top of that, 12:30 on a Sunday afternoon is sometimes I'm still asleep.
Well, that too.
Like, I literally put on pants 10 minutes before I was like, hey, are we doing this?
That's awesome. Well, Matt, I will talk to you soon. Have fun at the ABN party and keep me updated on Vegas, my friend.
I definitely will.
Appreciate
and,
it.
to your audience, if you want to check out new episodes of Now We Drink, we drop new episodes every Thursday at noon. There are video versions available now on Vimeo at anwv.net/videos, so you can see like full madness in HD. There's nudity that sometimes happens.
That's awesome. That is
Watch me make funny
fantastic.
facial expressions.
Well, that's always something.
Yeah, I know. People are much more there for the tits than my face. I get it.
Well, thank you, sir. I will talk to you soon. Have yourself a good holiday season, my man.
You do the same. I'll
Appreciate
talk to
it,
you
brother.
soon.
There he goes, Matt Slayer, the fantastic Matt Slayer, from And We Drink. And joining us today here on the birthday show, we've got our rappers. They keep messaging me. They're like, "We're on the way. We're on the way."
Teasing us. Well, they are.
Just a hell of a deal. So we're gonna take another time out. When we come back, I don't know. Me and Jeffrey are gonna entertain each other. I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure something
Well,
out.
you know what? Well, the next segment, I'll give you your birthday gift.
Oh no!
There you go.
There you go. Look at that. He's booking on the fly. We have got more coming up here on the Sunday radio broadcast. Back here in a few moments.